Hello, we are here to present our Unit 1 summative task. I am Jimena Baez and my partner is.
Hello, I'm Evan.
Thank you, Evan. So, we have to observe a English lesson and we decide to observe the teaching English in China. Let's start with the key elements. First, we observe that the activities that the teacher made, they were appropriate for the children age because we saw that they were from 6 to 7 years old and they were having fun while they were learning. Also, we observe about the seating arrangement. As you can see, the teacher is struggling to move around them because the classroom it's kind of small and the tables are not appropriate for that type of classroom and more with children which like to move a lot. Last but not least is the key element, which is the management of time that we observe that it is not explicitly shown like some classes where the teacher is saying you have 10 minutes or 5 minutes to do that. No, they just take their time, but the teacher managed it really well.
The suggestions that we give for key elements is the improvement of the classroom space by organizing the seating arrangement and having a proper weather. That means turning on the AC. Along the video, we could see that the door was open, but not only the door, also the windows, as you can see. I don't know if the weather in there is okay for your students not to have this air conditioner, but even that, the noise from outside can be even a disruption for the classroom. So having a classroom that is closed from the open environment can have a better result on children.
Next aspect to observe was the characteristics of an English language class.
I will be explaining that one. Thank you, Jimena. Um, well, we already know what this means, that it is the way lessons are organized by the teacher and what is their approach and everything. For this, we have some specific characteristics that we have seen on classes that was opening, sequencing, pacing, and closing. Watching the video together, we saw that these points, some of them were really strong, but it was not all of them used in the same amount all time. In the opening, do you remember, Jimena, that he opened the class with the rules and some basic expressions?
Yes, he did. Let me show you.
As you can see on the video, he made a transition between the ending of the warm up and the starting of the whole lesson, which he introduced the alphabet now, and he was very aware that the children didn't know, so he was encouraging them to follow this path. Which leads us to the next point. When he moved into the warm up of the class and he started now looking at the lesson, in that moment we are located on sequencing, where the teacher gives just the first entering of the lesson, of the vocabulary, of the alphabet, and now we look at pacing was not explicitly as they doing something alone and the teacher only monitoring, that it is what we usually do as teachers, but it was him just letting the children say the correct answer in all group. It was not a one student centered activity, but it was activity that was collaborative by all the group. Closing, we saw that he reviewed the content learned with mimics and let the students repeat with him what he said first.
Now for the suggestions of characteristics of an ELC. Well, we suggest that in the sequencing part, the teacher can reinforce more the interaction among students because, as we can see, is more teacher student talking and is more teacher talking than the student. And we suggest that the students should talk among them so they can practice their language and they can correct themselves and monitoring their language use. Now to finish, we have the roles of the teacher student. So first of all, we know that the teacher must be the one who encourage and challenge the students so they can learn appropriately. And students must be imitator and they must lead their own learning. We observed that the teacher was the guide, the motivator, and also he facilitates a lot the learning for the students, and he was the authority also. Like we already said, he set some rules, and every time that he mimics that rule, the students must obey. And for motivator, we have some example here. Here the teacher set two teams, which is boys, girls, and he's explaining that every time that they obey him or every time they disobey him, they lose points or win points.
What do we think of this video? Do you think, Jimena, that we should give any suggestions?
Well, not explicitly one because the teacher was really good. He makes a lot of activities to keep encourage their learning, and also students were actively participating on every activity that he made. So I think that it was totally correct and engaging.
Yes, totally right.
Yes.
That would be everything from us. Thank you for listening. Bye bye. Say bye, Jimena.
Bye.